if you don't have mousepad and mouse, it's like you going to school without backpack, fam. What the fuck is you doing? Like,
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to my new podcast, the Pew Pew podcast. This is the first episode. It's gonna be featuring Tosa, my longtime friend. You guys already know people that know the channel already. I am planning on doing these every week or every other week, so this is going to be a consistent podcast. It was really fun to make this, and I hope I can get a lot of people on it. Enjoy the show. So, what's poppin', everybody? Today I am with my guest, Tosa. What's up, Tosa?
yo, what up? What up?
So this is the first episode of the pod. So yeah, man, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and this is the perfect guest to start. It's the perfect guest to start. I'm not gonna lie. So let's get straight into it. Not waste no time. Just get into it. But Tosa, let's first start off with the name, right? Tosa, you're Tosa 7. You go under multiple names. Biggest bird. Too many
Okay.
names. How do you,
Biggest bird.
bro?
Okay.
How did you get the Tosa name, right? Let us know. Let us know.
Okay. How did I get the name Tosa? So my name is my middle name is Tosin, right? Tosin, right? And I was like probably like 11 or something, right? And then I had this we used to have this rap group, like music group, right? When I
Okay.
was younger, and then everyone had like their nicknames, and I used to like Little Wayne a lot. So I wanted to put Lil in front of my name, but Little Tosin doesn't sound like it doesn't even sound American, right? This was in Nigeria, right? I'm from Nigeria. Doesn't even sound American, right? So I was like, you know what? I need to have something. And so I heard of like a I think it was something about like the Illuminati, right? And then it was something about the Illuminati, and then the thing was like Tosa, right? So Tosa, right? So the O was like the eye of Anubis, the S was like the dollar sign, the A
God
was like
damn.
something, yeah, it was something Illuminati related, right? But I thought the name Tosa was cool, right? But then I was like, you know what? I gotta take this, but I gotta find my own meaning. So I was very young, so I converted Tosa, right? So I converted Tosin, right? Tosin,
Yeah.
Tosa, right? And basically, what I did was, what it means is Tosin awesome. Don't even don't even question me. I was a little kid, right? So
Tosin,
Tosin
awesome.
awesome, right? So it's just the TOS. I cut that and I took the rest out. The IN, took that out, and put A there. So it was just like short for Tosin awesome or Tosin amazing or whatever. But I was
Okay, okay.
young. It was stupid. But the name is I like the name.
Nah, the name is
Love my
sick. The
name.
name is sick.
Yeah. Even
Name is
people
sick.
IRL call me Tosa. Like it's at that point. But yeah, that's how I got
Short,
the name
sweet,
Tosa.
simple. It works. Nah, it's definitely sick. It's definitely sick.
Yep.
And
I took the Lil out of my name too because it was Little Tosa.
true, Lil Tosa. I actually know this
Yeah.
because obviously insider info. I know this shit, but Lil Tosa
Okay.
was a thing. Uh, obviously, right? We both do this. Obviously, streaming, gaming, right?
Mhm,
Competing,
mhm,
whole lot of
yep,
things, content creation. How do
mhm.
you feel, right? How do you feel about the current space of like streaming and like content creation as a whole, especially in the FPS, obviously in the FPS genre? Is like, how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about streaming content creation? Okay, in the FPS, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I can give. So for FPS, like FPS games are horrible now. Like the standards are like pretty low. It's terrible, god awful, right? So there's like not that much content from FPS games right now. So in that space, the content is like dying down, right? And I feel like it's opening up people's eyes to like realizing like you don't want to just like play one game, right, and get like and blow up because of that one game. And then if you switch over to another game, you can't even like transfer like the views, right? So I feel like people are like creating a brand around their self over creating a brand around a game, right? Like
yeah. There's nothing happening. Literally, gaming
yeah, yeah.
industry right now.
There's not much happening. So like the only way to grow is to create a brand around yourself so you can just like switch over like multiple games. Um yeah, I think that's how it should always be, but I feel like it's happening more now, which is pretty good. Um, Yeah, but yeah,
Like I had this thought, right? I had this thought, right? Because I feel like nowadays it's harder to have like a main game as a streamer, right? As a competitor, this is
yeah,
different because you compete and like you're the best of the game, that's that. But as a
yeah.
streamer, I feel like nowadays it's actually harder to have a main game. Like
Hmm.
there's no FPS that you can just, you play and you can play every day because either it has replayability, which isn't that good. There's too many bugs in the game, anything like that, or just the player base. Every game, bro, it starts up good. New games starts up good,
Yeah.
shatters after like a month. So
Yep.
you have to be switching over. You have to like go to new games, and
Yeah.
I feel like especially for like smaller mid-sized creators, it's even harder to build like a fan base, um,
Yeah.
like right now,
Yeah.
compared
From
to
FPS
maybe
games.
before.
Yeah.
And how do you call it? Obviously, we both used to play Fortnite, right? But we didn't actually stop. I don't think we actually stopped exactly at the same time. But
Hmm.
what was from Fortnite, because Fortnite is like one of the best shooters that came out, at least in
Yeah.
the recent era. One of the best shooters, definitely. Not many people can say otherwise, right?
Yeah.
What was the breaking
Even though
point?
like
What was your
sorry.
breaking point for like why did you stop playing Fortnite?
Oh, let's see. Can you remember what? I think because back then I used to want to compete. I feel like that was everyone. Right? Like
Yeah,
everyone used to want to compete and then
it was
like
so easy, bro. It's
get in.
open.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And you could compete as well, right? Like, but I don't know. I wasn't. I can't even remember. I think the game just I just fell out of love. I didn't want to compete anymore. I feel like it just got stale for me. And then what made it worse, my breaking point, like you asked, was when it was a change. I think maybe like the SMG change or something. I can't remember what it was exactly. And I just stopped playing it completely. Like the only time I play it is
That.
if I'm like is is if I'm coaching, right? Because I
Yeah,
coach like I
that's
coach
true.
yeah, I do coach Fortnite. But I don't even play it, right? The only time I'm playing it is if I'm coaching. So
That's true.
yeah,
And
my
people
break.
people actually don't know that. My bad for cutting you off. People actually don't know
Yeah,
that about you, but you do. You actually do Fortnite coaching. Like,
hold up,
how is
hold up, hold
that?
up. I want to say something real quick. I want
What?
to say something real quick. People don't know me, period. What do they don't know that about me?
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Okay.
People don't know us, period. But still, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they obviously like it's not something that's just out there. And like, I feel like apart from like pro scenes, like, because obviously we know like a few like pro players here and there, especially like Fortnite. And
yeah. Yeah.
coaching was always like I feel like it's an odd thing, bro, because it's not, it kind of just happens, and it's usually like pro players coaching other pro players. It's not really like there's not a
Yeah,
coach role in Fortnite compared to other
yeah,
games. Like let's say I'm
yeah.
thinking like Rainbow Six Siege. You have
Mm-hmm,
real coaches, like people that are actually
mm-hmm.
just there to coach. Fortnite, it's kind of just people are coaching.
Yeah,
Why, we don't really know. It's kind of odd. But
yeah.
I wanted to get to this because obviously,
Wait, real
yeah.
quick, sorry if you don't mind. Just to add though, like I'm not one of those coaches on Twitter or something like
Oh yeah,
coaching.
yeah, no, no, no.
Yeah, like I work with a company, right? So like I don't look for people to coach. Like yeah, they provide me people. So just wanted to put that out there.
I should
I'm not
clear it
like
up,
those
clear it up.
yeah
Because
those
Twitter
Twitter
coaches,
coaches.
that's something else, man. That's a
Yep.
grind, but that's another grind.
Yep. So
Yeah, but I wanted to get to this next point, right? Which was obviously we talk about Fortnite, you're talking about FPS as well. But what do you genuinely think is better, right? TPS or FPS? Like, you've played both, you have a lot of hours on both. We played a lot of shit together, so I know this. But what do you actually prefer, TPS or FPS, and why?
I mean FPS just because it like takes more skill, right? I think it takes more skill. I feel like I need more time to think about that, but TPS like off rip, right? Like just right now, what I'm thinking in my head, FPS all the way. TPS is like more newbie, is more like casual and fun most of the time. So FPS, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the thing about FPS that makes it, because I would say FPS as well, honestly. And I think the thing about FPS is just you can see way more in TPS, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like, let's say if you had 160 FOV in an FPS game, I feel like that game would almost be easy just because it has that FOV. Like the fact that you can see so much,
Mm-hmm.
because it makes you so
Mm-hmm.
aware, right? TPS, like Fortnite, for
Oh yeah,
example,
yeah,
right? You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
right hand peeking, things like that. Like those don't exist in an FPS, right? If
yeah.
you cross a corner, either you cross it or not, right? And
I
like,
mean, they do
oh,
like Rainbow, for
yeah,
example.
Rainbow, yeah, yeah. If you're talking about
Yeah,
games that have,
yeah,
that's true. Games that have leaning. Any games that have leaning, then in that case, yeah. But apart from that, with leaning, like you can only see what's in front of you. That's the reality,
yeah.
right? Which makes sense. TPS though, I feel like they're really fun, right? Blood was one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Apart from Fortnite,
They tend to be
which was
more
all,
fun.
but recently Blood was one of them, and it was really fun. And I feel like
Mhm.
for some reason, I feel like TPS, the thing I really like about TPS, I don't know if you agree with me on that, but it's, bro, the fact that you can see your character do crazy shit. I feel like that just
I mean, yeah,
that makes
yeah.
nice. Like
That
Blood,
that makes
seeing
sense.
yourself move,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind
Yeah,
of crazy.
I agree. I agree. I get that. I was gonna say something about nah, never mind. I can't remember. If I remember, I'll say it.
And how do you call it? I feel we're talking about Blood, obviously. Uh, a pretty much a newer game. I'd say in the newer games compared to some other stuff that's out right now. New games are flopping, bro. Like all of the
Yeah,
new games are flopping. And in our
yeah.
genre, everything, bro. Why? Like, do you think you can figure out or have
I
like something?
I I know exactly why. Like I
Yo,
know,
give us
like
the answer.
I know exactly why, right? Like, and I feel like people know this intuitively, right? They have it like in their head, but they can't just like bring it out, right? They probably don't know how to like articulate it. But the reason, right, is because, and this is not just for video games. This is for a lot of things, right? But this applies to video games as well, and then FPSs, mainly FPSs, right? The thing is this, right? We've passed the point where we're making like so many like technological advancements, and then as we're making those technological advancements, like a lot of stuff, like something new would make you a lot of money, right? We've passed that point, right?
Yeah,
We've gotten to the point where companies, they figured out, right, that they can make something that is ass and still make money, right? They figured that out, right? And if they figure that out, there's no reason, there's zero reason for them to make something good. There's zero. They don't have to. They're gonna make money regardless. Look at COD, right? The new COD that came out. Everyone knows that shit is trash, right?
true, true,
But they
true.
know it's trash, right? But they can do that. They can do the bare minimum and make a lot of money, right? And as a business, it works for them, right? But for gamers, it doesn't work for us because they're just pumping out either the same nonsense, refurbishing same ideas and stuff like that, just regurgitating the same ideas, right? It doesn't
Yep.
work for us, but it works for them. They do the same shit, they keep the same pace, and they make the same amount of money. So why would I try harder? If I was a company, why would I try hard to make the same amount of money as a game that is not even trying as hard, right? The only way to break out of this state we're in, and this is not just for games, is also going for movies as well,
That's
right?
true.
If you see the current state of movies, a lot of these companies make absolute dog shit. They make a good amount of money. It doesn't work all the time, right? But it does work, right? Like it's better for you to make dog shit, right? And test your odds than to make something great and still flops, right? Like it doesn't make you any. So I think the only way out of this, right, is for someone to make like some crazy formula, right? Like you have like you need like a new, that's what you need. That's what we need. Like in the shooters genre, not just FPS in general. The shoot like for shooters in general. We need a new like something that is mind blowing, like something completely new. That's not gonna happen probably till I die. I'm not even gonna lie.
Nah, nah, nah.
That's not happening. That's not
You,
happening in my
bro.
lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
Homie has
Can't
lost
even
all
lie.
hope, bro.
I've lost
All
all
hope.
hope. All
No,
hope.
okay, okay. Do you
Right.
think, right? Do you think, because I just thought about, do you think that BRs are like are like bleeding FPSs, because I feel like we've had a whole lot of BRs, and
Yeah.
and this actually gets me to think about hyenas, which we were just playing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there, people are trying. I feel like people are trying to sway away from the BRs a little bit, because obviously it's oversaturated. Like, let's not lie right
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
BRs are super fun, but
Mm.
oversaturated as hell. Like, there's so
Yeah.
many of them. There's BRs of
Yep.
everything. You have FPS BRs, TPS BRs. You have BRs with like characters, BRs with this, that. Like, everything's pretty much been made at this point, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like, do you think any BR can pop off anymore, or is it like the next FPS that can actually come out and keep a player base?
Mhm.
Like, do you think it's going to have to be a whole new genre?
I don't think it has to be necessarily a whole genre. It could be, right? And it could be wait, what do you mean whole? Oh,
Like
okay.
a
No,
whole
I
new
see what you're
genre,
saying.
and obviously in the FPS,
Of
but like
shooters. Yeah, yeah.
something else, not a BR, not a TDM, something new that
Oh,
we
okay,
haven't
yeah,
seen,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. It could be that, right? Like that could happen. It might be easier that way, but I don't think necessarily it has to be that way, right? Like I think they can make another BR, right? But they could do something that we've never seen before. Like never
True.
seen before, right? And it is still like pop off. And the game obviously has to work, right? Because that, like, even asking for the game to work is too much these days. Like, it's crazy. Like, asking for the game to work is already too much. So the game has to work first of all, right? It's wild, but it has to work. Um, and then it has to like build upon like stuff that is working, and then it has to be interesting. Like, obviously, you guys know all of this stuff, but it has to be like very unique and fun, right? I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't have the formula for how they're gonna do it. If not, I'll be rich, right? Like,
True.
I don't have that formula. But that's why I don't even think it's gonna happen anytime soon. So yeah.
You don't think we can figure? I feel like we can figure it out, man. I feel like, maybe not,
I mean, even if
maybe not this year, but like in the next 3-5 years, we have something. Bro. We have to have something.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you why, right? 3 5 years is crazy. You turn 300, 400 years.
That's what you were
Uh
saying.
oh, you said 3 4 years. Nah, like 300, 400 years. Let me tell you why. I mean, obviously not 300, 400. I'm joking. I'm joking. But like, if I'm being realistic, maybe like 10 years, at least 10 years before you
Bro,
get anything
that's crazy, bro.
good, right? Let me tell you why, right? Say I have an idea right now, right? And I want
Yeah,
to work on that idea, right? The businesses, right? Because you're gonna have to run this shit like a business. Nobody's doing charity work out here, right? Nobody's doing that. Right?
true.
So you're gonna have to run it as a business, right? And then if you figure out you can spend less, right, and be less innovative to make the same amount of money, why wouldn't you do that? I would do that. I hate that niggas do it, but I would do it too. Like, I would do the same thing, right?
I don't think
So
anyone wouldn't do it. Like, why wouldn't you, bro?
exactly,
It's
exactly.
obvious.
So if I bring a new idea, right? Like, you see hyenas, right? I feel
Yeah,
like the core game is actually pretty good. Blood Hunt as well. The core game is pretty good. But let's use hyenas, right? Because the reason why Blood Hunt died is kind of different. But hyenas, for example, core game, beautiful, yada yada yada, right? The thing though is they don't have to spend too much money or have people think of ways to keep other people. They don't have to do that because people are going to buy it anyways, right? They're going to buy it anyways. Like, they don't have to make it work because people are going to buy it anyways. Why would they spend the money to make it work, right? Why would they spend the money to build upon like build on the game to make it like work better, be more engaging, be more interesting? People are gonna buy it anyways. Or if people don't buy it and it's gonna die, right? At least they didn't spend that much money. Do you see how it's I mean, if it dies, like, it's not a win for them, right?
no, I mean,
But at
definitely
least they
not.
didn't spend that much money. Like, yeah, fuck this,
Scrap
take
it.
this
Go
clone,
next.
yeah, scrap it, go next. We didn't spend that much money. On to the next. That's
But
just how it's
I
gonna
mean, at
be.
the same times, right? I don't know for Hyena specifically who the dev team for that. It's Sega actually. Is it
Sega.
Sega? Yeah, Sega.
Yeah.
So actually, they have money because Sonic, obviously. So they
Yeah.
have money behind. So they probably don't care even if they lose that money. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like, dude, having a closed beta and losing all your players at closed beta, like
That's pretty.
that is it's crazy. It's fucking it's
It's pretty terrible.
actually insane that you can lose this much players during a beta. For the people that might not know Hyenas, because it's not the most like popping game. I don't think a lot of
Hmm.
people know it. Like it came out what, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, maybe something like that.
Yep. Yep.
It
It's
had
yeah.
priors, obviously it had prior betas and stuff, but nothing too
Mhm.
crazy. And it had what, 2,000 or something players off rip. It has 100 nowadays.
Yep.
Like, dude, a week of closed beta and the game is at 100. I don't know how. I don't even know if this is gonna launch. Like, and this is what's happening with all the new games. Like, they're
Yep.
flopping. Some of them are flopping faster than they actually took to like launch.
It's
The
wild.
launch is
It's
hyped
wild.
up. Then Super People, right? Super People is a great example, right?
It's-
Dude, dude, Super People was just deception, right? Like, no. Like, let's be right here, right? People, right? Cool game, right? PUBG clone, I guess, but it was PUBG plus extras, so it was cool. It just got boring so fast. Like after 2 days, you didn't even really want to play. You were playing because maybe you wanted to make a Taj or something, so you get clipped. Like it got boring so fast. And I mean they had like tournaments, and I think the payouts weren't like properly paid out or something, but
Yeah,
that's
they
for another
had.
topic,
I
honestly.
think they went bankrupt or something.
It
Or
might
they
have, bro. They
yeah.
were they were it's crazy. I mean nowadays
Yeah.
actually a lot of games are coming out with pretty insane, like just insane money. So they're just spending it. Or some companies get a lot of money, like Bloodhunt, for example, um,
Yeah.
and they get that money, and then they don't really do much with it. Like you
Yep.
don't really
Yep.
know what they're
They,
doing with it.
they're scared to like invest all of it into making the game better and then losing all the players anyways.
It's like, I mean, I guess, but it's so it's so I feel like it's so sad that there
Yeah.
can't be new games out that actually keep like a good amount of players. But enough about games, honestly, because I do want to get this. Obviously, I see the arm sleeve on your pod.
There.
I see the
There's my
mouse.
baby. There.
The arm sleeve that you always have on. By the way, every single fucking stream you have this arm sleeve on.
Yep.
Super
It's my
light
baby.
mouse pad and mouse. All right, how important? Because at this point, I can say with confirmation that you are starting to get known as an aimer guy. Right? So
Okay, buddy.
so
uh,
so so mousepad and mouse, right? Like how important? How important in your opinion are mousepad and mouse like for FPSs?
that's like you. If you don't have mouse pad and mouse, it's like you going to school without backpack, fam. What the fuck is you doing? Like you can't even like. Are you talking about uh? I'm talking about like how much should you spend, right? Like to get
Like
like
how important is it to get like a good mouse pad, a good, like
oh
okay, let me give you an example, right? So like one guy, starting his gaming journey, goes to Walmart, picks up first mouse pad, total of $30, gets out the store, right?
that brother ain't going nowhere.
And second boy going on Amazon, right, or whatever, online, orders, maybe, I don't know, a Lamzu, gets a Venus, and he starts gaming. Like,
Hmm.
who's going further there?
The Lamzu guy, he finna cook the shit out of the other guy. He cooking him bad. He cooking him terribly because like let me put it for you like this, right? I'll rank the order of like importance, right? I also
Yeah.
like add keyboard in, right? The keyboard is like the least, right? Like least, right?
Okay.
Least, in my opinion, it's the least important, but it's still pretty important. You should still like try to shell out a good amount
Yeah.
of money on a keyboard. But once you do that, like you don't have to worry about it for a while.
Keyboard's last long, so you're good.
Yeah, so you're chilling, right? And then clean your keyboard. I have an Apex Pro, so it's easier for me to clean. But you guys that have like the keyboard cover, you see what I'm talking about. You see, like I
Oh
can
yeah,
easily
yeah, yeah.
clean it,
Because you
right?
don't have
So
the you don't have
yeah,
actually, my keyboard is a good example of this.
yeah. Yeah, there you go. Like
I
with the
have a keyboard.
cover thing, right? Clean your keyboard.
Yep.
Keyboard.
Clean it.
Um, what's it called? For the mouse, right? The mouse is the most important thing, right? Right? It's the most important thing. It can't get more important than that, right? So
That's
for
where
your
your budget's
mouse,
going.
yes, your mouse should be like whatever. Like this G Pro uh wireless, the GPX, right? This is not the two one. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting the two later on, but yeah, you can get like a GPX. You can get whatever. Like look at reviews and stuff like that. Like the two I would recommend would be the GPX and the Viper. Sorry, the Dave, the Death Adder
Uh,
V3.
V3, yeah.
Yep. And then the Viper Pro, the Viper V2,
Yep.
the Viper V2. Yep, and the Viper V2. Recommend those. But yeah, the mouse the most important, right? And then your mouse pad is pretty important as well, right? Is the second most important, right? It's not as important as your mouse pad. For your mouse pad, you should also you don't need to you don't need to spend that much money, right? Like I spend a lot of money on the mouse pad simply because I just like trying different mouse pads. Saying let me just give you my short collection. This
Yeah.
short collection
Show us the
because
collection.
yeah. So I have the Skypad, obviously, right? The Skypad is still my main right now, simply because I'm not playing much. If I
Yep.
decide to play a game, I'll switch to like it. I have the Saturn, right? Saturn, and then I have the Venus. Venus is in the box. It's with my brother, but the Saturn is in the box as you can see.
Yep.
I don't. Do I need to pull it out?
I mean, you can. You fuck yeah. You can if you want.
I'll pull it
Pull
out.
it,
Just
pull it out so people can see what it looks like. Here's view on what a Saturn looks like.
the Saturn, right? Pretty nice. And then I have the big dog, right? Big dog. I'm gonna show you the big dog. I left the big dog hanging. Big dog. This is the artisan Hien, right?
Hien.
Yes, sir. The Hien, right? So this, like, if I'm gonna play something serious, I'm putting this on, going gaming, right? But yeah, that's the Hien,
Hien, right?
and
For
yeah,
for the people that might not know, Hien is like the goat pod almost. It's like
yep,
it's pretty much almost just the goat pod. It's a fast pod and
or the
it's a hybrid actually. Is it a fast
yeah,
pod? It's a
yeah,
hybrid.
yeah. That one is a hybrid. Yeah, it should be a hybrid. Because I don't have this. I have the. Do I have the? I think I have the softs. I
Okay,
don't have
okay.
X softs. Yeah,
I think the medium is the faster version.
yeah, the mid.
X soft is more control.
Yep. Yeah, and then your skates be next. People underestimate like how important your skates are. They're pretty important, right? So skates. If you get the Viper, right, the Dave or the Viper V2, right, you don't have to
Yep.
worry about skates like that because I'm pretty sure their skates are pretty good, from my experience, right? But for the G Pro, change the skates. Change the
That-
skates. You're chilling.
I advocate for stock skates.
Don't listen
Guys,
to this man.
stock skates are
Stock
just fine.
skates,
All
no.
right, they're okay. Honestly, I'd say the problem with stock skates is the longevity of them.
Yeah.
Not that much, man. Like
Not
I'm
that.
not gonna lie, these skates are I don't think they're gonna be able to see at the cam, but they're starting to die, man. They're starting to die.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing some heavy gaming, you might have to switch the skates.
Exactly. And if you get the Skypad, you're gonna switch your skates frequently as well.
I want to get to this, right? Because let me show. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Share my screen. Because you obviously you're starting to get known as the gamer guy, right? But
Bro.
I wanted to pull out
That's cute.
maybe an old clip, right? And
Oh my.
so the clip itself that is really important. The important part of this clip, right, is top bottom right. I'm looking, this is a different input. Oh,
Wait, who's this? Is this me?
this is you.
It's me.
This is you.
Where did you get this clip from?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
That is crazy.
Don't worry
That is
about that.
insane.
Oh
It is
wait,
me.
did I mess it up? Oh shit! Hold on. I think chat couldn't see it, or chat fucking podcast couldn't see. I didn't switch screen, but it's fine. I'll just replay it here. So important part
sick.
is the bottom right, where we do see that Tosa is in fact a controller player at heart.
You got me. Oh, I don't know about at heart, but yeah, I used to play controller like almost everybody else.
I feel like it's an everybody thing. Like there's apart if you have the chance of actually having like a PC up front, like as your first thing. If you start on console, then obviously you were a controller player. So that's an everyday thing. But I didn't want to put that out here, so that people know. That's
funny.
I wanted to get also right here, because you did just make a very heavy purchase, and so I wanted to show chat this purchase that you made. The i9 13th gen plus a 1490. Tosa, how does that feel? How does this feel? Because
feels great.
Let me zoom in here. This is goated right here. This is insane.
Feels amazing. Can't even lie. Like I wanted to run 2 PC, right? But like the i9 40 plus the 4090 is just so powerful that I'm just like, I don't even know if I want to run 2 PCs. I'm just gonna sell my other PC. So yeah, I mean I might end up still running 2 PCs, but I literally do not need to. It's literally overkill for everything. Like I can stream game and edit at the same time, dude. And it's overkill. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm almost scared about what the 50 series is gonna be, because the 4090, just looking at my stats, and obviously with what I know from what your frames look like in game now, aka way too much. Just to give you insight, we were playing Hyenas the other day. Tosa had 280 or something, 260, I don't know, frames on Hyenas.
200 plus.
On on not even the lowest
240
settings.
plus.
240 plus. Was this on high settings?
Yeah, high settings. Everything was maxed out.
Maxed out settings, 1080p, 240 plus. I have currently a 30.
Oh yeah, it was 1080p.
A 3060 in my PC, and I had like 150, man, 140 or something like that.
140 on low settings.
On low settings. On low settings. I think 180.
The game is not optimized.
But one on low settings plus DLSS. Plus DLSS.
180. And I was max settings. I didn't even know I was, because we played when I just got the PC, and I didn't know I was max settings and stuff. And it was like 240 plus max settings and everything, and the game is poorly optimized. So
yeah, it's not.
I had my browser open, my stream on, and everything, dude. Like I had like 17 tabs opened. It's crazy.
I mean, PC is definitely wild with this. I don't know if you want to talk about the cost of the PC. Maybe you wanna.
Niggas trying to pocket watch. Nope. Just know my pockets knows that I.
Pockets are hurting. That's the answer right here. Pockets are hurting. That's
shaking.
Oh wait, let me switch to this right here. That was that for what I wanted to show. Honestly, that pretty much clears up what I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you have any words or any questions and anything that you wanted to talk about specifically.
Yeah, control players, man.
Controller
Quick, I want
players.
to end it. Yeah,
Let's do it. Controller players.
controller players. Alright, so I don't even complain about controller players, right? Ziggy knows I don't complain about controller.
That's
I
true.
like I like if I die to I mean I don't even care that much because my aim is I even like challenging them because it's always fun when you just beat them, right? When they have aim assist and you still beat them, right? Like in fights that you should not be beating them in, right? It's always fun to do that, right? So I don't even complain about them in game, but I have an issue with the way they think, right? The way they think. No offense to all the control. I'm not trying to offend you guys, but some of y'all, right? Some of y'all, the way you guys think because I've been seeing it on Twitter lately, right? And it's just like I don't complain, right? But when other people complain, right, I understand why they're complaining, right?
Yeah.
Because what they say, right, what the controller players say is, oh, um, why are you complaining too much? I mean, we get it that aim assist is unfair. Why do you have to complain that much, right? Like, like, how does that even make any sense? Like, the amount of complaints doesn't matter. Even if they complain from now till next year, every single day, 24/7, it doesn't matter because you are aware that the advantage is there. It
That's
is
true.
unfair, right? It doesn't matter how many complaints there are. There is no over complaining or under complaining. It doesn't matter. The imbalance is there. And for those who think the imbalance is there, you're stupid. Let them just tell you you're stupid. Let me put it respectfully. Right? Let me tell you why, right? If you can do what I would need to practice hundred of hours, right, to do on my mouse, if you can do that just by picking up a controller, right, and playing, and I'm not even talking about like the craziest snaps or the craziest tracking. I'm talking about the basic tracking. I played on controller. I know, right? I know.
Obviously, yeah.
I'm talking
We
about
seen it.
yeah, you've seen it. I'm talking about like the basic tracking, right? Just basic tracking, right? It will take a keyboard and mouse player at least 100 hours to get, and I'm not beating, right? Like I Kovacs
I
a
can
lot.
vouch. I can
I
vouch here.
I exactly right. Like so I know it takes them at like unless you're like extremely talented, it will take like maybe 70 hours, right, to get at least decent level tracking, and that tracking you get instantaneously, controller instantaneously. Yep. Oh, hope I didn't bug my mic,
No, you're
right?
good.
So the way, right, the way I have like the way I set up my rhetoric around this conversation, right? The way I present my arguments when I see people like, saying this shit is this is how I present the premise. This is the premise, right?
Yeah.
Just you guys take note of this. This is the premise. Controller players they do less for more, whereas keyboard players do more for less. That is the premise, right? If you have any counterpoints against that,
Fact.
let me know. Let
That
me know
is.
whatever your counterpoint is, and then we can discuss. But that is the premise.
I feel like that's the perfect way to end it off on because I don't have anything to say against that. That's fair. From the standpoint of someone that obviously right plays controller, not anymore really, but still played controller very recently. So has a lot of recent games that I actually played on controller. Um, dude, it is how it is. Like I feel like if you're a controller player, you just have to accept that.
Like
Yeah,
I sure maybe it depends on the game, right? Like maybe some games I can't even think of one. Honestly, I can't think of one right now.
the
But there are
moment there's
some
aim
games where
assistance,
like
there's
yeah,
no.
like like unless like the aim assist is like totally like toned down, it's gonna be very hard to do. But if you're talking about games like COD, Apex, right? All these games, you're a fool if you don't think there's an imbalance. There's like a sign aspect of it not being fair. And I can literally demonstrate this to you. I have a graph to prove it. I don't like when it comes to stuff like this, like if I'm gonna give a claim, right? Best believe that I can back up my claim. I can give you arguments. I believe it's true. So I can provide you data that shows this, right? If you want it, DM me. Like if you I can send it to you. You can see this data. So like I'm telling you, the average controller player, right? Their accuracy level is higher than the average keyboard and mouse player. then the top 1%, the accuracy level is also higher than the top 1% for KBM. That's what this graph demonstrates.
Yep.
I'm
And not
telling
at every
you.
game.
No, this is for Halo. This was for
Oh, this
Halo.
is for Halo?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
I
this was
mean
for
that,
Halo.
I'm
So
pretty sure that would work for every. I think
yeah.
Splitgate, um we actually had I think we had access to the accuracy, right, of players on Splitgate, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, we did. They
There
did
is,
one
there
too
is,
as
there is.
well.
With
They did one as well.
yeah, yeah, and they did a graph and everything, and controller players were like just above, man.
Bro,
And
it
like
was bad. It was
it's
terrible.
bad. And the funny thing
Like,
is, some of these controller players is not even controller players that would consider themselves with like good aim controller players, right? So
yep.
like some of them don't even consider themselves to have the greatest aim or anything, and they are like either head to head or above
The keyboard and mouse players
the
that
keyboard
work
and mouse players that
very
are
hard.
that are aim training every day, and that to me is crazy. That to me
Yeah.
is insane.
That's why I would always refer back to my premise I gave argument. The control players they do less for more, whereas the keyboard players do way more for less or relatively the same outcomes. So that's as I'm gonna leave it. If you
That
have
that's
any counter
that's the
claim, I'm ready
that's
to
the
discuss this anytime, and I'm gonna demonstrate my point to you. I I will show you. Right? Like I will I will back it up. Right. So ready anytime.
challenging anyone that wants to argue it. Your your socials. Tosa, your how many 3 R's? I'm gonna put it on screen anyways, but
I don't even know my own social. Wait, for Twitter?
yeah, the Tosa it's Tosa, but how many R's? It's two
I
R's or
think it's
three
two
R's?
or 3 hours.
Two
I
or
don't
three
know my
R's.
Twitter, honestly.
Anyways, it's gonna be on screen. I'm gonna put all your socials on screen.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Make sure you guys follow Tosa everywhere. Subscribe on his YouTube. His TikTok. He's always posting shorts, TikToks, everything.
Let's post
And
it.
yeah,
Make it one
like
day.